Hi. Okay, so thought I would talk about what it's like being on female hormones. As I look at YouTube and stuff, I've noticed that there's not really anything that really explains any of this in a really useful way. And since I'm basically a child in an adult body, for some people, I might be able to break it down into a really simple term. I break everything. You notice everything I say is so ridiculous. It's not ridiculous, and it's not so much that it's any more wrong than anyone else. It's just that I'm just kind of good at breaking things down into ridiculous terms. So anyway, so the thing is about hormones is you have a first puberty and a second puberty. So if you're a trans woman, meaning you were born a boy and you're transitioning to female, then your first puberty was a male puberty, and your second puberty, once you get on hormones, is your female puberty, which is like your first 3 or 4 years of being on hormones. So what happens is your second puberty, and then if you're a trans man, it means you were born a girl and you transition to a boy. So when you get on boy hormones, that's your second one, So your first puberty was a female puberty, and your second one was a male puberty. So I'm a trans woman, so my first puberty was a male puberty, and then when the first 3 years when I was on female hormones, that was my second puberty, and that was my female puberty. Okay, that's what the doctors call it. So what it is like your second puberty doesn't undo anything that's already happened from a previous puberty. So that means like in my male puberty, I didn't grow boobs. I didn't grow boobs. No one does. In male puberty, you don't grow boobs. So that's why my second puberty, I grew boobs. See? In my first puberty, my voice dropped. And so on my second puberty, my voice didn't get higher because my voice had already dropped because of a previous puberty. So I just that's why my voice doesn't sound very impressive. I wish I sounded like a beautiful woman's voice so bad. My voice is probably one of the things I don't like about myself the most. I don't like my voice, but I like myself, more than I ever have before. And I don't expect myself to be perfect, So it's good enough, If someone doesn't like me because of my voice, then I guess that's the way it is. I'll have to go find another friend. But anyway, so my voice isn't going to change. As much as I might want it to be, my second puberty didn't change my voice, okay? So, I don't have whiskers. See, like if you felt my face like this, it's as smooth as a baby's butt. And it will be tonight when I go to bed too, I don't have man whiskers anymore. And you're like, oh, but on your first puberty you grew man whiskers, right? Yeah, on my first puberty I grew man whiskers, but I did electrolysis, see? So you can still make things happen sometimes. Surgery can't fix your voice, but the minor surgery of electrolysis can remove your whiskers, And you don't grow, your boobs grow, I have real boobs. They're real, believe me, but they're not as big as I wished, So I need to get top surgery, don't I? And you can get surgery to make things better in some cases, but so anyway, like a trans man grew boobs with the first puberty, with the female puberty. So as much as the trans man wished that being on boy hormones would make her boobs go away, they won't. They're going to stay there. So she's going to have them surgically removed. So trans men that don't have boobs is because they had surgery and had them removed. See? But the big thing is like humans we're kind of like reptiles, how they shed their skin. Every 6 months you have brand new hair, brand new skin, brand new everything. So like there are some things like especially your skin and your hair and your pheromones, and your fat distribution. Like for me, I used to be a bodybuilder. I lost 40 pounds of upper body muscle. My biceps were big and strong, and I was buff. I was a muscular person on the top. I lost all of that, and then I gained like like an inch and a half or something like that around my waist. Like my thighs and my butt and that area. I gained. That's where most of my fat is right now. And then I gained a thin layer of fat actually everywhere on my body. Like my triceps, when I can't do it, but they jiggle when I don't flex them and stuff like that. So like your fat distributes, so like things like that. Since they're changing all the time, and those things change. Like my skin is just like, holy cow, my skin is so freaking soft. But like, so one thing about hormones is they make the difference between boys and girls. We're all born a girl. In the womb, we're a girl. All of us. You start out a girl, and then when a penis, and really once the testicles, when the testicles come out, then it starts making all this testosterone, and then it starts turning you into a boy. But the girl just stays a girl. See? So we're all born like that, So like the differences that happen, they have to do with like why would there be a need to be a difference between a boy and a girl? Think about it. It's not because of anything else, but because of our own little social world we live in. It's for sex and sexual attraction and stuff. The reason that my skin is super soft now is because I'm supposed to be a turn on to guys, and the reason guys' muscles are so hard and sexy is because they're trying to turn me on, and then girl things are soft, and boy things are hard. Boy hair is thicker and darker and stiffer, and girl hair is softer and thinner and lighter in color. I used to have just a little bit of chest hair, and I don't have any chest hair now. And if you look really close under the right light, they're still little teeny hairs. They're not as big, but they're really thin and see-through, So, that changes your hair, and the hair on your head's different too. It changes that a little bit and stuff. I remember like before I was, on male hormones, I would shave my legs, because I've always been a little bit weird. And it just would make red bumps, and it would be sore and irritating and uncomfortable, And I remember thinking, wow, how do girls stand that, But now I know why. Because there's a huge difference. When you have girl skin and girl hair, shaving your legs is the easiest part about being a girl. Like you can do a blindfold. It just takes about 3 seconds. And you're done. It's like so easy. And you don't even have to be careful or anything. It's because they're those thin girl hairs, and it just it's actually more comfortable to have your hairs, I think, to be shaved. My legs are more comfortable when they're shaved. But anyway, so that's the difference. So like when you hear my voice, like what people do when you're a trans woman is they'll compare you to other trans people, They'll say, I have this friend that's a trans woman, and like her voice is just like, it's just so, it sounds just like a girl. I can't even tell the difference, implying that mine doesn't, it's like it can hurt your feelings, but really they're just being ignorant. The reason that person sounds like that is because they've gone through the hard work of learning how to talk that way. And then however you learn how to talk, if you do it enough, your brain reprograms and that becomes how you talk. Like how I'm talking now is not the way I naturally talked at first. It's because, I didn't take transitioning my voice as serious as other people do. I'm not extra worried about passing. I'm just worried about making myself feel happy. And I want to be good looking enough for my man. I don't really have one right now, but I want to be sexy enough to turn on my guy when I find one, you know. And I mean, I find guys all the time and they're turned on, you know, and I like that. That means something to me. I love it when guys, you know, wow, you're a beautiful woman, say things like that. I'm like, oh, thank you. And I mean it. It's like, oh, I love that. It makes me feel so good. You know, I mean, I don't really care, but I'm not going to lie and say that doesn't feel good when men notice me and treat me like that, you know, and it feels great. But what I noticed, like at first, is I would walk into a room, and then everybody would react. Like every single person in the whole room would look at me, and then half of them would turn, and you could tell they're talking about you, and they would discuss you, you know, and everything like that, you know. And then after I started getting further along, like the hormones, they change the shape of your eyes. They change a lot of things on your face, believe it or not. Like boy wrinkles on your forehead are different. Boy wrinkles are like really like deep straight lines, you know, and girl wrinkles are more soft and like they you know, it's just like it's when you've gone through it, you know. Like for me, I know the difference between a boy forehead and a girl forehead. You guys probably will never know what that means, you know, unless you just keep thinking about it. I don't know, maybe you can't, you know, maybe you can't. It also changes your sex drive. But the thing is like if I say now I have a female sex drive before I had a male sex drive, and boy, are they different. People say, what? Are you saying girls can't get horny? You know, that's a lie. You know, it's like, oh, whoa, you know, how come people are so ignorant? No, really what hormones do is they make you the male or the female version of yourself. So you don't compare you to other people, you compare you to you. So right now, female hormones made me the female version of me. And when I was on boy hormones, I was the male version of me, you know? And so when I was on boy hormones, it was the male sex drive of me. And right now I have the female sex drive of me. And there's a big difference between my female sex drive and my male sex drive, you know? So, and it's like that with everything, you know? I grew boobs, they're not real big, but compared to my other boobs, it's obvious that these are girl boobs. I mean, it's a different kind of nipple. And the differences are, it's not hard to figure out why the differences are the differences, you know, because it's a girl boob now, you know, things like that, you know, but it's my girl boob now. And it's not going to compare to some of those luscious big ones, you know, but anyway, so I'd walk into a room, and then, you know, I would be, you know, I would say something in a man voice. And like before I would get there, few people would notice me. I got so just a handful of people would notice me instead of literally everyone in the room. And then I would say something out loud, and everybody, kind of like that scene on Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas when there's all those reptiles, and he says, and then all the reptiles look at him. That's what it's kind of like, you know, before you do anything with your voice. You're like, you kind of blend in, you're kind of doing good, and then you say something out loud, and everybody just goes, and looks at you, you know? Or you'll be talking to people, and it's still like this. Sometimes my voice sounds more feminine than others, but it can really hurt your feelings, because like somebody will be respecting you, and they'll be calling you, using female pronouns and really respecting you, and then all of a sudden, you'll say something and it'll sound extra manly, you know? And they won't realize that it might sound manly for me, but like even my most manly noise doesn't sound, you know, to the trained ear. I never make real manly noises anymore. I've transitioned my voice enough that I don't make certain noises that only men make. If you listen to my voice, it's pretty different than a man's voice right now, but it's also pretty different than a woman's voice too, you know? So it's, you know, it sucks, but you know, the reason that I've done that is because where my voice now is, it kind of keeps me mostly under the radar, you know? And people, like when I talk to people, they have more respect. There's more love and respect out there. If I walked around just with a careless boy voice, there would be probably 4 times as much people that hate me. And there'd be probably, you know, my life would probably be about 4 times harder. There'd be more hatred, more disrespect. You know, there'd be a lot less people that give me the respect of being a woman. It's just kind of a harsh reality of the world. People are very superficial. And they're also very ignorant of hormones. That's why I'm making this video right now. That's why I'm spending extra time on the voice, because these things are things that I wished everybody knew, so you would know how to judge a trans woman. It doesn't. You don't need to lose respect for me when you notice that my voice doesn't sound exactly the same as a cis woman. Just like it's just like not how people should be treated. It's not my fault that hormones. It's not something I get to have. I just don't get to have that. Even the trans women that have really convincing voices, if you literally compare them, it's not. It's not really the same thing. You'll never hear them do some of the noises girls make with their mouth. So it's not. It doesn't make things not real. There's no reason to lose all respect for us. You know what I mean? We're still the same person we were before, and we still deserve that respect. You don't need to lose all your respect. So just those things. Keep those things in mind. It's you become the female version of you. And things don't change that already happened because of a previous puberty, So then once you realize that, it gets pretty easy to, like with pubic hairs, If you're wondering, but Angie, do you have pubic hairs? Well, do both girls and boys have pubic hairs? Yes. So I probably have pubic hairs, right? And see how you can figure out things all by yourself now?